The Battle of Endor. There's only one more level left, at least of the official ones. So, first of all, cutscenes. Since we've got pretty elaborate cutscenes, what can you tell us about them?
Unfortunately, I can't take credit for these. These were done by Tobias Richter. They were actually the first cutscenes he did on the game, and they really came out quite nice. Tobias has a lot of experience flying around big, huge, heavy ships, so this was perfectly suited towards his skills, and he really outdid every expectation that could have had for him. It's really quite impressive.
What's the trickiest thing about capital ships and animating them, or large amounts?
Well, the speed issue of just working with such a massive amount of data. You guys are seeing all these ships moving around at 60 frames a second. When we're working on them, we're lucky if they move at 6 frames a minute. And I'm not. It's seriously. Everything here has been optimized to move really quickly, and the data we work with is a lot, dirty or messier within our application that we use to animate. But the thing is that they're very slow, and they move like gigantic whales, and it's really hard to make that seem exciting.
What's different in terms of because you see it even in the cutscenes in the game, something which I really like. What was different between the ILM shots in Jedi and in Star Wars?
Well, Star Wars was originally done in 1977 with technology that pretty much didn't exist till they invented it. And by the time Jedi came around in 1983, everyone had pretty much learned how to do everything. John Dykstra had perfected the motion control camera and had gone on to do Battlestar Galactica and stuff, and he really knew how to fly a camera around and put in layer after layer after layer of elements to really give a sense of dynamic motion. It's more instead of just something happening in front of the camera, it's the camera and the what we call actors interacting with each other.
Mm-hmm. So it's just the camera movements are much more dynamic.
Much more dynamic and just sheer numbers of things.
Yeah.
And luckily, we don't have to composite.
Yeah, which the movie guys have to do, yeah, or had to do at the time. Tony Wong, who was one of the programmers on the project. You did the enemy AI. What's different about these enemies compared to previous enemies in a flight game?
Right, I guess one of the main things is normally the LD would just place down a pass where they're going to follow, and sort of do most of the movement. Whereas with these guys, they're working out where the player is, where their target is. If they're being shot, they'll know that and they'll try and avoid it. So I guess it sort of makes it easier for the LD, so they don't have to account for all the variables. And I guess it makes it more responsive and more immersive because they react more to what the player's doing as opposed to some set plan that the LD's put down.
Yeah. Al, how many of these intelligent guys are you using, and how many classic ones are in this battle?
Well, I mean, we definitely couldn't have recreated this spectacular Battle of Endor without Tony's awesome AI. I mean, we have about maximum of 40 flocks going on, Imperial and Rebels.
Flocks are these super intelligent AI things?
Yeah, they're just, I just set them up, let them go, and they just do their thing, and it definitely gives us a more dynamic, action-packed type of feel than just stuff running on a spline.
Where does flock come from? As in, why is it called a flock?
I guess it's from a flock of birds. I guess that's where.
Yeah. So they behave like birds, which means they've got a leader, and everybody else is according to certain rules, is following the leader.
And they're just following the guy.
Yeah. Okay. How long does it take to stage a battle like this? I mean, how many enemy craft are in here?
I think if we showed every single one of them all at once, we'd have at least, probably hovering around 100 ships. So we are pushing a lot of stuff around, and it's just Gamecube's just amazing how much stuff it can push around at any one time. I mean, previous games like X-Wing Alliance or any of the Larry Holland games, I mean, they were pushing maybe 30, 40 ships at a time, and we're just blowing them away with what we got here. I mean, we're able to do the full squadron attacks, plus all the capital ship combat that you see in the movie.
What else? What else is special about the Battle of Endor? Is it just the sheer numbers, or?
Well, I mean, basically, I wanted to recreate the sheer epic scale of the battle from the movie, but also show sequences that the movie didn't really elaborate on, such as the initial attacks on the Star Destroyers. And so in the second sub-level, you do engage 2 Star Destroyers for the first time, and you actually see Admiral Akbar's Home 1 capital ship, basically duke it out with the 2 Star Destroyers. So it's something you didn't really see in the movie, but I wanted to elaborate on.
But it's heavily suggested in there, right?
It's heavily suggested, but it's something, I think players would enjoy being around, at least.
Yeah.
Huge capital ship battles.